Okay, hello, welcome back to my channel. I am trying a new filming setup kind of thing. I'm actually at one of my desks just trying to see if I feel a little bit better with the mic here in front of me. You may also hear my fan going. If you're new here, I like my room to be at a specific temperature while I'm doing cleansings and clearings, so fans got to be on so the energy is kind of fluid and all over the place. Um, of course, all the energy, all the cleansing coming this way. So today's video, the first one that I'm going to start with, is actually going to be a Moldavite update video. Just give me 1 second. There you go. So the first video I'm going to do is a Moldavite update. I did a poll, and it seemed like the videos that got the video that got the most votes first was the Moldavite update, and then astral projection. So I'm gonna go in a sequence. It's gonna be the Moldavite, the astral projection, and then as a bonus video, I'm gonna talk about what it's like to be a spiritual individual and getting into contact with your significant others, spirit guides, and just spirit team in general. So yeah. Also, I still have bookings open if you would like to book a reading with me. I do ancestor readings, general readings, love readings. Yeah, and keep in mind that when you get a reading from me, you are supporting a Black-owned small business. It's just me doing my thing. So, yeah. So here's the Moldavite update video. I'm just going to jump right in. If you haven't seen my piece, it's a pretty small piece. Very powerful, though. So let's talk about the updates. Moldavite has gotten me to really let go of a lot. We've talked about this before in a bunch of my other videos about how it's a very transformative stone and how it's very keen on removing blockages for you, things that you probably didn't realize were fully blockages or things you really didn't want to let go of. This tektite is very much, oh, we're gonna highlight this. We're gonna make you experience something that's gonna be slightly uncomfortable or painful so that you understand why we're removing it. That was a whole plane. I apologize. And then we are going to remove it for you. So by the time this is removed and you've seen why it needs to be removed, hopefully there's no real deep-rooted emotional attachment. Hopefully you're in a situation where you're a bit more comfortable relinquishing control and letting go. And I've always loved that about this tektite, because I was very keen on repeating the same cycles, meaning I knew why things needed to be let go of. I understood that they were bad for me, but I was such an empathetic person. I mean, I still am. But to be an oracle, to be able to see the potential outcomes of someone's life and being like, okay, I understand that if I'm on that path, I could potentially be helping them to elevate or keep them safe or make sure that they don't lose their home or their safe space, whatever it may be. You know, you get into these situations where you're an oracle or a reader, or just an energetic reader in general, or whatever type of healing or knowledge you may possess when you come into contact with someone else's aura field. You then lack boundaries and you put yourself into this position of, I know what I'm capable of, I know my power, and I'm going to utilize that power to help you. However, in the long run, it ends up hurting us, and that was my problem. My problem was always, yes, you can see the potential outcomes. Yes, you have the potential to help these people, but these people are never going to turn around and help you, and that's what you don't understand. Okay? A perfect example would be, what is it that when people are really upset and they say, I wouldn't give that bitch, a cup of water to put herself out if she was on fire, right? That's me. I give 50 cups of water, and then I would turn right around and catch on fire, and that person would literally have one last cup. They're not even on fire anymore. They would look at the cup, they would look at me, they would look at the cup, and then dump it on themselves even though they're no longer on fire. Like, that's just the energy a lot of the people who I was helping at the time gave off. And very selfish, very self-centered, very self-loathing, or not self-loathing, I apologize. Very me. And I'm just going to adjust this. For the most part, you know, when someone's really all about themselves, I get really into that because it feels like it's good growth, but then it gets to, okay, how much of this is just really good growth and how much of this is you potentially just being selfish and trying to take everything I have. You know, I get wanting to be all about you and wanting to be all about your growth and you know, the point being, without teetering along in that way, is that my Moldavite was not having it. She was not doing it. It was not happening. She removed a shit ton of people. She removed a shit ton of situations. So the update from that is, once these particular people and situations were out of my life, it was then time for me to get my life in order all over again, right? Because when you're a spiritualist, when you're a mother, when you're a lover, or just really good friends, you tend to put a lot of people's needs before your own. You self-sacrifice a lot, and the truth is, it's just not helping anyone. I got really heavy into subliminals to reprogram and change my perspective. I think a lot of people get really into shifting, and they want to talk about, shifting, shifting the timelines. I shifted time. A lot of the times, I think a lot of people fail to recognize that some of you didn't really move somewhere else that you wanted to move to, per se. You shifted your perspective on the reality you were already existing in. And because you allowed these things to kind of fall out of your life that no longer held a place there, newer things were able to come in. So for me, it was health. I got back in the gym. I go to the gym 3 days a week now. I feel amazing. It was, eating with intention, watching what I put into my body and how it makes me feel afterwards. If I'm eating and I'm lethargic and just tired in general, it's a no. Dead food in a body, just dragging me down, making me feel shitty all day. It was learning to balance out soft parenting and setting up boundaries with my son as well. It was learning to have more open forms of communication without feeling bad about the fact that maybe I didn't fully understand how to do some of these things because of my own childhood trauma. The sun is beaming right now, and it is giving me life, and I'm so happy. I don't think my Moldavite's happy, though. She prefers to be underneath the moon, so I'm just going to move her over here. I got over so many deep-rooted fears, too. Like, the first couple weeks I had the Moldavite, I wore it over to my significant other's house. And I realized that we had a conversation about how I was not childish, but almost not allowing myself to grow up fully and be an adult and be fully independent. And one of the tough conversations that we had was definitely about driving. And I said, driving, I've always loved being in the car, but never behind the wheel. The couple of times I was behind the wheel, it was chaotic. There was accidents, there was a time when I wasn't even in the driver's seat and we were like completely sideswiped, fucked up my back. We both had to go to they send you to the hospital to get checked out, and then they send you to like the chiropractor. It was a mess. And then one time a deer jumped out in front of our car, and like we hit it, but it got up and walked away. And the people behind us in traffic were like, there was no deer. What are you talking about? To this day, I'm still convinced it was a spirit animal trying to warn us of something, because it was a hefty bump, but there was no damage to the car. None. and we both saw this deer. Like, it did, like, it's not like it didn't, you know. But when the cop came, they're like, what are you talking about? Everyone behind you is saying there was no deer. Are you under the influence? Are you okay? So that was another thing, you know. But back then it was a lot more of fear of the unknown. Anyway, my point being that when I had talked about these things and I had talked about how I worked through them, my significant other's response was, well, then if you worked through it, then what's the excuse? You know, you're kind of at this point just stalling. You're not allowing yourself to be independent in the ways that you should as an adult. With that being said, I got behind the wheel. I allowed myself to relearn how to drive, and I'm still taking it one day at a time. I'm moving very slow. But a lot of these things I didn't realize I needed. I mean, it's so crazy. I'm in my late 20s, and you'd think, oh, haha, you know, passenger princess, you love being in the passenger seat. There's no need, you know, you have someone who's gonna drive you around, you know, pick you up for dates and stuff like that. Cool. Yeah, no, I didn't realize how much I enjoyed having that level of independence until I went out to get it, which is crazy to me. So I don't actually know if my significant other watches my videos, because anyways, yeah, but if you're watching, then thank you. I have no clue if you keep up with these, but the Moldavite definitely helped prompt that conversation between us, and it definitely opened up a space in my heart for me to be able to hear you without being triggered or assume that you're attempting to bully me into doing something I'm uncomfortable with. Thank goodness for that, because that would be the last thing we need, right? So, health, learning to gain more independence and being confident about it. One of the big things Moldavite and I are still working on together is money. I'm learning to shift my perspective with money and how I energetically react when it comes to money. My shaman, who I love so much, she's one of the few people who I actually trust to fully read my energy, be allowed to interact with my spirit team on all levels. I mean, she gets down. She knows what's up. My spirit team loves her. They're excited every time I book with her. It's a whole party over here. She was telling me, we were speaking more along the lines of like gratitude towards money, whether it's physical money or online money. She taught me some very valuable lessons, but because this was knowledge that was passed down from her mentor to her, and she shared it with me because energetically we just are so close, it's not something I'd feel comfortable sharing online first without asking her. Especially because she hosts workshops where she will literally sit down with you and open you up to the frequency of money and really just speak with you on this level that makes you understand. She spoke to me in terms of energy because she knows that that's what I work with heavily. She knows that that's the first thing I sense. She knows that it opens me up to everything. From the minute she and I walk into the same room, it's nothing but energy. It immediately aligns. We're hugging, we're laughing. It's always a good time. She knows that energy is my language. Okay, everyone has a different spiritual language. I've said this before, but mine is energy. So reading people before they even speak to me, being able to speak to the plants through energy, which is how I'm able to do things like make oils, money oils, romance oils, oils to connect more heavily with your spirit guides and deities while you are in a state of meditation and or rest. I speak to the plants. The plants speak to me. We have a beautiful coexisting relationship. Right now I'm learning to speak with them more along the lines of health, right? Holistic healing more. And that kind of ties more into the Moldavite too, right? Moldavite is teaching me how to take better care of myself. And in doing so and in healing myself, I'm going to be able to turn around and share those same experiences with everyone else so that they can figure out what's the best method to continue to heal themselves as well. I think Moldavite is scary because people make it scary. I think Moldavite is terrifying when you're not ready to relinquish your attachments. I think there's a time and a place for everything. I think people just don't like to let go of things. I think it's very natural to not want to let go of things, especially things that bring you great senses of comfort. But we are getting ready to exist in a time where everything is getting ready to change. I don't want to say where everything's getting ready to fall apart and scare the shit out of people. I'm not that type of person who's going to ring me doomsday alarms and, oh my God, we're shifting realities and everything's ending. And take it as it comes. We are definitely shifting into a new reality, but not in the ways that people think. It's a gradual, slow shift. It's a gradual change. It's this happening and you not necessarily recognizing it until it's right in front of your face. You know, things are shifting and changing, yes, but you know, this is Spirit's way of saying, you know, before you get to that unchangeable place where you're kind of just stuck in one particular vibration, get it together. I say this in every video, but if you felt attracted to watch this video and this little teeny tiny piece of Moldavite, which by the way was like $50, shit is expensive. If you've been feeling compelled to do this, do it. If you've been drawn to Moldavite for some time, now is the time to do it. And I would do it before it circulates again and starts reaching those very popular people who have no clue how to work with the stone in general, who have no clue how to work with a tektite or crystal and do things because it's, I can post about my $200 piece of Moldavite. Girl, are you using it? Are you utilizing all of its abilities, or are you just going to cry when you and your boyfriend break up in a week? Anyways, this went from a 10-minute video to a 20-minute video. So clearly the setup is more comfortable. My guides are more comfortable. I'm more comfortable. So yeah, I'm happy. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've got in terms of this Moldavite update video. I will keep making this series on like the many ways it's changed my life. I think one of the most surprising things people heard from me is like the boost in my credit score. That was wild to me too. I went from like a 560 to like upper 700s in a month and a half. And that's because literally the minute I allowed these changes to take place, I was able to move. And then the minute I was able to move, I got approved for like several credit cards. And then I listened to what my significant other was telling me about financing and how to do these things. And my score just shot up like crazy. And I Moldavite will most definitely change your life if you let it. So let it. The sun is beaming. I'm happy. Everything's coming through. The energy feels good. My only problem is that I have it set on a setting, so it's not going to auto fix. So when it's doing this, just I apologize. But yeah, that's what I've got for this video. So please like, share, and subscribe. That's how I know that you like these videos and that you want me to keep making them. Yeah. So I'm going to scurry off to make the next video, and comment down below. Let me know what's going on. Did you get your piece? How's your life been affected? What are your updates? What are your major updates? Yeah, just let me know. I love a good update from my subscribers. So yeah. If you're looking to book a session, the information is located in the description box. I took down my website, so for right now, I'm just taking all of my bookings through my email. So if you would like a reading, please feel free to email me. We can work something out. I have a 24-hour turnaround time for most readings, and most readings are either in video or audio format unless specified otherwise. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day as the sun comes through to blind me. Bye.